Hey guys, how's it going? Good afternoon. I'm doing a trading recap on the trades that I decided to take today. I am doing this a little bit later because I had to go to work, but I'm gonna go ahead and share a couple of trades that I took today on live today for the first time. So let's actually go ahead and let me start off with my first trade, which my first trade in live was a loser, which is very humbling, which is very good. Okay, so on Apple here, let me just drag and click this over. On Apple, I saw that, well, let me just go over my analysis. I saw that we had gap down here pre-market, and we were kind of selling off at S4. So I was either expecting a bounce or a sell-off. And I was looking at the 60-minute chart, and we had this doji here. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I was expecting the loss of S3, maybe to a move of S4, which we sort of got later in the day, but it's quite choppy at the open. So my analysis was, the 60-minute here, we're sitting, we sold off after, losing previous day close, and we're sitting sort of at VWAP with a doji, and I was hoping to take a short on it, and of course it was my first live trade ever, so I had a little bit of nerves going on there, but I saw that we were holding VWAP after this pop-up past VWAP and S3 here, and we started to pull back towards VWAP, and then we started to hold, and then we moved upwards. I saw one green order come in on the time and sales, and that was enough for me to go long. Usually that doesn't work out too well. I like to see a couple orders come in and volume come in and aggressive price action movement upwards, and that's exactly why this trade failed. But I took the position here at this new 1 minute high and set my stop here, and then afterwards that candle flushed down, and then we started to get like this choppy price action. I don't think I would have taken a trade on Apple, throughout any of this anyways, as you can tell, because it was just not an ideal trade and ideal setup to begin with. Anyways, Oxy was on my list because, of course, oil's been in play. We had this nice big sell-off here. Our cams were nice and tight, and within yesterday's our last trading day's cams, what I did notice is that we had a nice sell-off here, but then we had a double bottom here. So my first initial thought was, okay, maybe we could pay a possible long here back into this range the previous day close, which I thought would be a good position to take if we bounced off of VWAP. But I noticed is that at 8 o'clock, at 9 o'clock exactly, when this candle closed, I noticed that we had weakness with this doji here, which to me, indicating that it was right at, what level is this here? I have yesterday's S4, I believe. Or no, this is actually today's S4 and close to the yesterday's S4. So we were starting to show weakness there along with these daily levels. And the way I viewed that, it was, okay, we had this move down here, we had a double bottom, and then this move up, but this doji formed right in the middle. So to me, that looked like we were going to have an ABCD pattern likely, and we were consolidating here after this move up. So this didn't seem like a real move upwards towards VWAP. If this candle would have closed with some strength, instead of closing like a doji, then I would have considered a long if the opportunity presented itself. But instead, it closed as a doji. So I was really looking for a short on Oxy, and I definitely wasn't going to play it long, especially with the daily chart dropping on volume and no indication that we would go long unless something massive had happened. So onto the trade. Basically, we opened with a 2 minute bearish candle, and then we started popping up here towards VWAP. And when we popped up towards VWAP, we started rejecting VWAP. And as soon as the sell orders came in on the bigger time tape, I took a position here and I set my stop right at 55.59, 1 penny above the high of this candle. And then it was pretty much just waiting for this trade to work out. So what I noticed here is that, I had my nerves setting in. We were consolidating, so I was worried I was going to get stopped out. But I thought this was a really good setup, so I was okay with taking a 2-hour loss today, with this being my second trade of the day. And then we started to move down here on low volume. Excuse the Twitter. That's some comments on my Twitter on probably my trades or my analysis. So we started to get this move down here, and we lost pre-market low. My issue with this is that once we lost pre-market low and we got to the 54 level, I was targeting 3R because I didn't get 2R with this move here to pre-market low, and I usually like to target 3R if not a specific level. But since we were past the cams, I was looking for a clear area to exit, and my clear area was 3R, which was a little bit below this. So we started to lose this level, and I thought that we would be in a good position to make my my 3R, which was at 53.75, which would have been a really quick move, relative quick move to get there. But then we started holding 54, so I got concerned because I didn't see anything on the L2 to this downside, and I didn't see anything towards the upside. So that's what helped me in this trade. Of course, I was analyzing the volume here, which was relatively low, and I wanted to see how we were going to react at this level, pre-market low, as we were coming back into this moving average. Because if the volume was high here, then I would have considered cutting the position, and I definitely had my stop at break even. I definitely had my stop at break even after I saw this. So if we would have moved up and stopped me out, then I would have taken the break even loss on that. But the volume was low. We were moving into this level. The time and sales had green orders come in, but when we had the green orders come in, price would move up just a little bit. And whenever we had a sell order, we would drop, more than we would on the increase from the buy orders on the bigger time tape. Um, and once we move into this level, I was waiting to see what was going to happen at this level. We rejected the moving average. We formed as a almost as a reverse hammer. We technically did, but I like to see a red candle to qualify it as a really really good reverse hammer. Um, and then we made that move down on low volume. And once I saw that my stop was or I had my limit order here, it got filled, and I was out of the trade at 3R. And it turned out to work really well because as soon as it hit that order, it probably went down to what is this 53.32. That's low of day right now. And then from there, it's just chopped. It's been chopping all day, and that is oxy when there's not a lot of attention and not a lot of volume and nothing really on the L2. So that's why I was managing it very strictly here, because once I didn't see anything on the L2, I figured, okay, we're probably going to dry up and find the bottom very close to here if we didn't already here. So once we moved this 3R and I got this move out, this 3R move out of it, I was happy. I was content. I made 3R on this side, lost 1R on Oxy, and overall I made 2R today. Obviously, commissions took away from that, but I'm not necessarily worried about growing the account at a super substantial rate at this moment. I'm just happy to be green. I lost the 1R, I made the 3R. The risk to reward is there. It's all about just growing the account little by little with green trades and funding the account with more funds in order to negate this commissions, which I'm not really worried about at all. I'm just happy to be green. I'm happy to have a green day. I'm happy to have a green trade and good analysis, very good patience. Usually I would have bailed on something like this, but I stuck with this trade. And it was technically a buzzer beater because I had to leave work at 10 on the dot. So I got out of this trade at 9:54, which was perfect timing. And I was able to get to work on time and get everything done on time. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. If you guys like my content, please subscribe and like. And any comments you have or any feedback would be very much appreciated. I look forward to doing more recaps. I look forward to chatting with new traders and sharing my journey of success and failure as I go through these next weeks of live trading. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys and talk to you again tomorrow.